We're going to be going through some dry land cord stretching exercises to help you through these troubled times at the moment. So if you're not able to get down to a swimming pool, then these exercises that we're going to be doing, which are totally specific for swimming, are going to help you get through those times and make sure that when we do get back down to the pool, you're going to be in great shape.
One of the most important things to performing this exercise routine is that you have no pain in your shoulders while you're doing these exercises. I think a lot of swimmers do suffer from shoulder injuries and shoulder pain from time to time, so please be mindful if you are suffering from any shoulder bursitis or rotator cuff injury. It's important that you be mindful when you are executing these exercises that they are pain-free and that you're not feeling any of your symptoms in your shoulder. A couple of things that I'd like to go through before you start these exercises is just to ensure that when you are doing them, you're being mindful of the posture that your shoulder is in. At the beginning of the exercises, Jana has gone through how we set our shoulder blade, which is called scapular setting or shoulder blade setting. So it's important that when you are executing these exercises, each exercise, you're first setting those shoulder blade muscles, ensuring that the right postural muscles are working, and then executing the exercise. From there, it's also important to ensure that your breathing pattern is calm and you're not holding your breath throughout the exercise. Holding your breath can create tension, which will then encourage you to use other muscles that aren't necessarily needed during that particular exercise. And finally, the last thing to just be mindful of when you are doing these exercises is the position that the rest of your body is in. So ensuring that your rib cage is not flaring, your abdominal muscles are gently switched on to help control that. And you also want to be mindful of the position of your pelvis and your lower back. So maintaining a neutral pelvis position and ensuring that you're not arching through your lower back or slouching through your lower back during these exercises. You want to feel like you're nice and tall and strong through that trunk, because the stronger that your foundation is through your trunk and your spine, the more power and the better movement execution you're going to have through your shoulder and your shoulder muscles. Enjoy and good luck.
All right, the next sequence of exercises that we're going to use is called Rock Around the World. So you will do an exercise facing the anchor point. So we will refer to this point as the north, thinking of our swim smooth squads up in the north, for example, the UK. And we are going to start with our arms along our sides, palms facing back. And we're just going to do backward raises, both arms at the same time, extending the shoulders backwards. Remember to keep that shoulder blade set properly, relaxing the upper traps and pushing into that extension. Moving into the next position, we'll be moving to the east, thinking of our swim smooth squads on the east. In Hong Kong, for example, we're going to do external rotation with the right arm and internal rotation with the left. External rotation on the right with the arm by side, making sure that you start on the tummy, finishing almost 180 degrees on the other side. On the medial rotation on the left-hand side, you will end on the tummy, progressing these two exercises. If you find that it's too easy to do these exercises, move into 90 degrees of elevation and do the external rotation at 90 degrees, elbow in line with the shoulder, Michelle, slightly down from there. That's better, maintaining that the elbow is 90 degrees bent and focusing on the rotation. Progressing it a little bit further, Michelle will move the elbow higher than the shoulder height and doing the external rotation in that position. A little bit more tricky to keep that elbow stable, but try your best. Once you progress to this exercise, it should be easier once you've mastered the first and the second positions. With the arm by side medial rotation, you can progress that to where Michelle is now at the 90 degrees of elevation and doing the medial rotation in that position. Michelle, keep that elbow nice and still for me. Demonstrating the third progression, Michelle has got the elbow above the shoulder height and then internal rotation of the shoulder. Try to focus on keeping that elbow 90 degrees bent throughout all these exercises. Moving from the east, we're going to be moving to the south. We'll be facing South Africa and we will be going towards the punch and the hug exercises, starting with the arms by the sides, palms facing up. Michelle will just be punching forward, ending with the wrist in line with the shoulder, imagining that she's punching somebody standing in front of her. Imagine that the attacker in front of you that you're wanting to punch is moving away from you. So slightly reach a bit more forward at the end of the movement, really getting that shoulder blade to move into protraction. Great. Instead of punching forward, Michelle is now going to do a hug movement, still starting with the elbows by the side, but almost moving more into a hugging type of a movement, finishing with the arms or the hands in line with the shoulders. Always moving back to your starting position of arms next to your side, elbows bent 90 degrees. As a progression to these exercises, you can start arms or elbows in line with the shoulders and the elbows bent. Going into the punch, finishing with the wrist in line with the shoulder and punching forward, almost like you imagining that that attacker is moving away from you and you really want to move the shoulder blade forward. Next up will be the hug, so finishing off above shoulder height. Imagining you've got your ideal sports star, let's say Ian Thorpe, Evan Etzebeth if you're South African, and you're really leaning over to hug as you come across your chest. Finishing off with the hands above shoulder height. A little bit higher, Michelle, finishing off above shoulder height. Always returning to your starting position of elbows in line with the shoulders, elbows bent. Moving on from the south, we go into the west. And we'll repeat the rotation of the shoulder movements. So thinking of the swim smooth squads in the US, Canada a little bit more north, and repeating the arm by side movements with the external rotation and the internal rotation. Remember, we said that you can progress these exercises to moving into 90 degrees of elevation and then even further into 120 degrees or elbow above shoulder height, repeating the same movement as Michelle is demonstrating. Remember to do the external rotation as well as the internal rotation with the opposite arm. Starting with arm by side, moving towards the tummy, progressing towards elbow at 90 degrees, making sure you maintain that elbow bent 90 degrees, progressing from here to 120 degrees, so elbow above shoulder height, repeating the same movement. Finishing off in the west will mean that we start back facing north, and that finishes the sequence of exercises of rocking around the world. An easy set of sequence exercises that you can do in a quick break between working, or if you just have 10 or 15 minutes to run through swimming specific exercises.
Thanks for watching there, our introduction to dryland core training with our coach, Jana, in South Africa. To access the entire program, including 53 exercises that you can do to work on improving the stability in your shoulder and maintaining mobilization during this period of shutdown for many of pools around the world, please head on over to swimsmooth.guru, where a standard account will cost you just $1.99 per month, and you'll be able to access the entire thing there. Thanks for watching, and if you've liked this video, please subscribe down below.